Democrat representative from Michigan is not even able to name the Michigan cities and towns he represents. I want you to think really hard right now. Which Democrat representative do you think cannot name his own cities and towns that he supposedly represents? I'm going to give you a hint. He was not born in the United States. I'm going to scroll down right here, and you would be correct if you guessed Sri Thadner. He cannot name the own cities and town he represents. I know I repeated that like 3 times, but it's mind-blowing to me. And there is a video of this. And Sri Thadner is also the Democrat representative that has already filed impeachment articles against Donald Trump, and he's trying to force a vote. But we'll get to that in a second. Michigan Representative Sri Thadner can't name the cities and towns he represents in Congress. He's also trying to impeach President Donald Trump. You know, he should probably take these one at a time, and there should be a process in order to this. Maybe first figure out which, cities, which people you represent, be able to name their towns. And then somewhere along the way, way in the future, maybe you could be able to file impeachment articles against a president, but he's not even past the first step. He's not even past the first step of being a representative. That should be like step number 1. Step number 1, which cities and towns am I going to represent? Okay, boom, cross that off the list and then go down the list. And eventually, one of those years, you can get to maybe impeaching a president who you think is doing something wrong. Instead of reading what he said, I have the video right here. But just to be clear, the 5 municipalities that he represents, supposedly, make up Grosse Pointe, Michigan, Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe City, Grosse Pointe Farms, Grosse Pointe Woods, and Grosse Pointe Shores. And he was asked about this by, it appears to be an independent journalist. I'm not entirely sure who this is. This video is originating from an account called Big Fish. So it's this, looks like an older gentleman asking him this question. And it's true. Sri Thadner cannot say what cities and towns he actually represents. Take a look.
I don't know.
What are the 5 Grosse Pointe cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my constituents and all of the Grosse Pointes and all of Taylor.
All of the Grosse Pointes. When he says, I'm not here to answer X, Y, and Z question, that is a roundabout way of saying that I don't know. But he can't say that, obviously, because saying that, it would be a massive headline, even though it already is a headline because he obviously doesn't know. And instead he says, I'm here to represent all of the Grosse Pointes. Well, what are each of the Grosse Pointes? And it's kind of funny because this guy, to his face, names each one. And he nods along with every one of them. The only thing differently I would have done if I were this guy, I would have thrown in one that was something different, like a Grosse Pointe something else, and have Sri Thadner nod along to it and be like, well, actually, that's not even one of the Grosse Pointes. And that would have even been a better gotcha. But that was just me thinking about how more ridiculous you can make this guy. But let's look at the rest.
Every part of the 13th district.
I'm just do this real quick. Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay. On your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages at your pharmaceutical testing.
See, look, I don't.
I abandoned beagles in an abandoned building after my company went bankrupt, but I love animals, I swear. Just take my word for it. But I think one of the best questions or one of the best things this guy said when he was talking to Sri Thadner was this idea that Sri Thadner thinks he works for the government. That's very interesting. But in reality, a representative, it's inherent in the name. He's a representative. He's supposed to be a representative of the people. And it kind of shows you the thought process of these people, the perspective of these people. They believe they work for the government. And that's their perspective. I work for the government. I'm in charge. Yet in reality, the way it's supposed to work is government officials, representatives are supposed to work for the people, and specifically representatives, right? They are supposed to represent the will of the people. But increasingly, it's becoming the tail wag the dog scenario where it's the people in the government working for higher levels of people in the government. And that's, of course, I think where we kind of get the term the deep state, because we have all these powerful people. They're able to do a lot of crazy, powerful things. They make people wealthy beyond their wildest dreams, give people power beyond their wildest dreams. So that's very enticing to a lot of people. And I believe Sri Thander is just another one of these people. But he's also not even from the United States. He wasn't born in the United States. He was born in India. But he is impeaching Donald J. Trump. He's trying to force a vote. Here is Sri Thander attempting very, very hard to gain some sort of support behind this impeachment situation, which I don't think is going to be gaining any traction at all, because it's just there is nothing to impeach Donald Trump over. But it appears that he is trying to gain some sort of popularity. He has been in the headlines. But I think this is dead in the water. But it's kind of a fun spectacle to watch because it's so comical. But here is Sri Thander trying to garner some support for this impeachment that he is trying to force through. Take a watch.
See, this president has conducted impeachable misconduct.
Okay.
This president and his actions have been unconstitutional.
Okay, exactly what actions are we talking about here?
Has broken the law.
Okay.
He has abused the power of his office.
Okay.
Multiple times. Just as we speak here today.
So I don't know why all of the very long pauses. It could have something to do with the fact that English is not, as far as I know, his first language. Here is the history of Sri Thander, just kind of a short little what's what here. Thander, from Michigan now, was born in Chikoti, Karnataka, India on February 22nd, 1955. Graduated from Chintamanra High School, Belgaum, India in 1969. Bachelor of Science at Karnataka University in Dharwad, India in 1973. Then he went to the University of Bombay, which is now the University of Mumbai. Then this was in 1977, PhD. And so he must have moved to the United States somewhere between 1977 and 1982. I didn't do a super deep dive into his past, but he goes from Bombay, graduating University of Mumbai in 1977, and now he is University of Akron, Ohio, in Akron, Ohio, 1982. So he's not even from the United States, and he is up here attempting to impeach Donald Trump, and he is actually trying to go for it. This was posted by Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's just really such a spectacle. It's so funny. She says, Representative Sri Thander, who abused beagles and abandoned them to die when his testing lab shut down, is going to force an impeachment vote on President Trump. The Democrats should be proud to be led by a guy who killed beagles. So fitting. So, I mean, that is, I'm a big dog lover myself, but what I think is more insane to me is this guy wasn't even born in the United States. Me personally, I don't think someone who was not born in the United States should be able to represent actual citizens who have been here their entire life, born here. I think that is just absolutely insanity. And listening to him talk, he's got a very thick accent. He doesn't even sound like someone that you would assume to be an American. But this is Sri Thander on the House floor here with a big graphic, impeach Donald Trump, attempting to, I guess, convince the rest of Congress to go along with the charade. Listen.
Impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Resolution. Impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors.
So there you go. Also, he was asked if he is ashamed of this whole charade, because that's exactly what it is. It's a charade. They're attempting to essentially dip their toe in the water, kind of feel the temperature. You know, none of this stuff is even real. They're just kind of they're trying to gauge, like, where are we at? Where is the American people at on this? Where are the rest of Congress at on this? Are they ready to go hard against Trump like they did back in, the 2016 through 2020? Where are we at? Of course, they're nowhere near where they want to be, because they have been exposed for the liars and criminals that they actually are. So there is a very small subset of people that actually still trust these jokers, but they are pretty shameless nonetheless. This is Laura Loomer's reporter here asking Shree Thadner exactly what he's trying to accomplish with going after Trump for impeachment.
Do you feel bad for filing impeachment articles against President Trump, a president who won the national popular vote? Do you believe you're scamming the American people by filing impeachment articles against President Trump?
Well, he's from India. Of course he's scamming. That's his whole life.
Would you also like to
He's
answer
running from him
for your many failed business ventures, which have resulted in many
The fact that this guy became a member of Congress is
accusing you of scamming
mind-blowing to me. It's sick. It really is. It's such a shame. It's such a shame that this guy is a member of Congress.
You know, Congressman, you talk a lot on TV.
It's one thing when there's somebody in Congress who's corrupt, and we all know is corrupt, and he's from the United States. He was born here. But this guy right here, the biggest scam artist, not even born in the United States, is born in India. Went to college in India. So there you have it, guys. Shree Thadner, the big story here. He can't even name the cities and towns he represents. What do you guys think of this? Do you think it should be necessary to be able to, at the very least, name the cities and towns you represent? Shouldn't that be step one? Do you agree with me that someone should have to be born in the United States to become a representative in the United States? I think that's a very good idea. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And if you made it this far, please throw a like down there, and we will see you on the next one.